Hello everyone, it's Stephanie, and I wanted to take this week to talk about probably one of the most challenging of all the behaviors, and that's difficulty using the restroom. And this is challenging not only because of physical limitations, but it's challenging because it's a touchy subject. It's something that we're used to being able to do privately, and that might not be possible anymore. So there's a lot of complexities when it comes to difficulties in the restroom. So I first wanted to talk about why dementia may be causing some of the challenges. So first of all, our loved one might not be able to recognize that they need to use the restroom. They might not understand that urge anymore. It could also be that they can understand, but they can't communicate with us. So there's different kinds of reasons they might not be able to let us know. There's also physical limitations. Maybe they are able to tell they need to use the restroom and can even communicate it, but getting up from their chair and getting into the restroom, they might not have enough time to do that because of physical limitations. And if you think about it, the other issue is there's so many steps to using the restroom. It's recognizing the need to use it, getting up, finding the bathroom, and then remembering all the steps that actually go once you're in the restroom, getting undressed, knowing how to use the toilet itself, knowing how to clean up. So there's so many steps, and if any of those steps aren't working in the right order, it can really cause a problem. So it is a lot to remember when it no longer comes naturally to just remember how to do that for ourselves. So there are ways we can plan ahead. Like always, we really want to declutter that bathroom, have less distraction. And even signs can be a really big help when it comes to this. So having arrows pointing to the restroom, having a sign on the restroom, you can even use pictures so that it's easier to associate that it's a restroom. And then you can have instructions in the restroom. So that can help foster independence because maybe they don't need your help physically, but they just need the reminders and instructions kind of laid out for them. So that's an option as well to keep that independence. But it can also just help while you're in there if they do need some physical assistance. So those are all some ways to plan ahead. And there are other strategies we can use are creating a schedule. So if our loved one can't communicate when they need to use the restroom, having a set schedule so we don't give the opportunity or as much opportunity to have challenges with that. We also really want to have proper hygiene because it can lead to so many other issues if we're not keeping that good hygiene. So having wipes in visible locations, using those instructions, that might mean checking on your loved one if they're able to do it on their own, just to double check that they're wiping properly, that they've washed their hands. And this really ranges based on the level of need. So some people might just need verbal reminders. Some people might need just some checking in throughout the process, whereas some people might need full assistance in the restroom. So if we are in there explaining or even just outside the door, we really want to break down the steps. So we want to explain steps one at a time so we're not throwing so much information at them. You can also do things like install grab bars, and all of these things, all of these little changes really help foster that independence so they're able to do as much as they can. And it can be really stressful if our loved one is having issues for them and for us. There's the embarrassment issue. It's a lot of physical work to help someone use the restroom or to clean up if there's an accident. So we really want to, again, remember to speak in a calm tone of voice and be respectful because it's hard on both sides. It is embarrassing, especially for our loved ones who are understanding, what's going on, but they're not physically able to do what they used to. We have to see it from their side as well. So it is a bit of a change in roles, especially if this is, if you're taking care of a parent. So we really just want to keep that calm, respectful tone of voice and just reiterate that we're really there to help. One other thing that we hear a lot is that loved ones may be urinating in places that aren't the restroom, and that can be really challenging because explaining it doesn't always work. So these are, again, when we want to use those signs to help. If it's a door that can easily be locked, to lock those doors to avoid that, or even just putting a stop sign on those doors, that can be ways to help lessen or eliminate that issue. Schedules, like any of the behaviors we've talked about, looking at routines that work for them. If you know that right before bed that they probably should use the restroom, try to encourage that. You can try and limit liquids before bed And hopefully all of these little things will make it a little bit easier when managing this behavior. And there's also products that can be helpful depending on where your loved one's at. Adult incontinence briefs can be really helpful, as well as waterproof mattress pads, just to make cleaning easier. So, like with any of these behaviors that we've talked about, it's kind of about picking and choosing what strategies might work, trying them out, and seeing what works for your situation at that time, and knowing you can go back at any time and seeing what might work for you in the future. So I hope this was helpful. This is really one of those tough behaviors because it's tough to talk about, but it is something that a lot of people struggle with. So if you have any more questions about this topic, or if there's another topic you want me to discuss, please let me know below. And we are here for you. So if there's any way we can help, just let me know. All right, until next time.